Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of a Pretty Little Podcast. I'm Allie, Violet Vixen Commissaro, and my podcaster in crime unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but she says to tell everyone hello and she will be here next week. But we have a awesome guest tonight, so it kind of makes up for her not being here a little bit. Boss Hydro ignites the stage with their powerhouse rock presence. Fusing intense riffs and compelling lyrics, this band's sonic journey is fueled by pure rock and roll energy, thrilling audiences with their electrifying performances. Please welcome the rock stars from Boss Hydro. Hey guys.
Hey Allie, how are you?
Hey. So let's go through and I want you to introduce yourselves.
Thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate it. I'm Edmund, singer, songwriter, guitar player for Boss Hydro. My brother Joe, bass player. How you doing?
So let's get to the nitty gritty. How did the band come together?
I was playing in the '90s with this band called Shock Tank Kittens at the Cell Block. I don't know if you remember that club back in the day. It was a pretty big heavy metal club right after the Empire and all that. And the band had just broken up.
All the good places have all closed down. Like I miss
I miss those places.
Yeah, we need to hopefully some of the new ones that are popping up, hopefully they can kind of restore those great venues.
I know, right?
But continue.
So when that band broke up, I was looking to put together something new and different than what I was doing previously. And I kind of enlisted my brother on board. At the time, he was just kind of a guitar player, noodling around, and I got him to take up the bass and showed him some stuff. And we've been playing together now with Boss Hydro since 1999. Time.
You guys were so fun to see. I was fortunate enough to go to a Monte Carlo show, and you guys were right before them, and I was blown away. You guys literally are so great together. The energy in Sweeney's was just insane. Everybody was just having so much fun and no drama. Just a great night.
It's an awesome club. It really is. And we really always do well there. Every time we play there, it's kind of our core club that we play because that's our area. We all grew up in Northeast Philly, so we have a lot of fan base in that area. So, but it's always a good time there. And in fact, we're playing with Monte Carlo again there soon.
We always seem to play with our friends, so that limits the drama.
Yeah.
We play with, we've known for a long time.
So you can throw it out there. When is the date that you're playing with Monte Carlo?
We're playing Saturday, February 24th. Us, Monte Carlo, Pinheads, and a band called The Last Moments. All great bands. It's going to be a great show.
The vibe. I was so excited because I've gone to Sweeney's for a very, very long time, and it was nice to see it packed and everybody having a great time.
And original music too. You don't really see original music at Sweeney's. It's more of a cover club. If you notice, bands like LeCompte and a lot of the cover bands play there. But for some reason they don't mind us doing our shows there because I guess
you guys are fun.
Crowd.
So what inspired the name Boss Hydro?
It was a mechanic that was around the corner from where we grew up. It was actually a great mechanic. My parents always took their car. Our parents always took their car there. And when the guy retired, and a new guy took it over. And my buddy took his car there to get it repaired, and they couldn't fix it, but they wouldn't give him his car back. And then they made him pay all this money. They never fixed his car. So every time somebody would say, "Hey, I need a mechanic," Joe's got a guy, Boss Hydro. So they'd always kind of make fun of me and say, Boss Hydro. Oh, you got car problems? Joe's got Boss Hydro. Oh, yeah. And we needed a band name. They just kept making fun of Boss Hydro thing, but it was originally a great.
I like it. It's unique.
Homage to Holmesburg, which is where we grew up.
It was a staple in the neighborhood.
And oddly enough, like years later, we wound up getting in touch with the son of that same
The original
owner's son. He has like a race car called Boss Hydro, and he saw our name like on Facebook and was like, "Wait a minute, that's my dad's old shop, you know? Like where do they, you know?"
He said those hot rods with Boss Hydro on it.
Yeah, so it's
cool.
like we got in touch with him, and now he's come out to a couple more shows and stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's where the name came from. Sort of like a homage to Holmesburg.
Small world.
So, how would you describe your sound?
I mean, hard rock, a little bit of punk thrown in there,
Blues.
a little blues in there, classic rocky. You know, I guess that's pretty much what entails it all, you know.
So, can we hear about some of your musical influences or bands, artists that inspire you?
I mean, my all-time favorite is David Bowie. I mean, I know our music doesn't sound anything like David Bowie, but I also grew up with Judas Priest and all the heavy metal stuff and all the punk stuff. So it's sort of like a, you know, compilation of, you know, all different influences, really. You know, both punk and metal roots that I had, and you know, that's really. I don't really set out, you know, when I write something, you know, to try to go for a certain sound, but it's just you know, whatever comes out, you know.
We always do a Bowie song live.
Yeah, we always do a Bowie song live. We do a cover of Bowie just because it's, you know, one of our favorite bands, artists, I should say.
That's fun. I loved the whole vibe with it, and you guys, like you and Monte Carlo, like you guys only throw in those like just those bops, as Jesse would say. Like your covers that you pick are so strategic and like placed nicely in with everything else going on. It's pretty cool.
We always try to make them our own too. We don't really do like the traditional cover.
Yeah, we kind of try to make it our own version of it, almost like a remake of it, sort of. You know.
So, what's the story behind your favorite song?
The story behind my favorite song? That's a tough one. Yeah, what's your favorite song?
We have a couple that our parents passed away.
Oh, favorite Boss Hydro song. Gotcha.
Yeah.
They passed away like within a year of each other, so we have a couple songs about, you know, like losing our parents and things like that. Living in the Past is probably one, which is about that.
That's one of your favorites?
That's one of my favorites, I'd say, yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, one of my favorites is probably Revolution Song, or which is really, in a way, a little bit political, you know, in light of everything that's happened over the last 4 years. I mean, it's not really geared toward any side in particular, just about, you know, with the whole country's going through with being so divided, and that's more what it's about. And I like another song off the last album we put out, Brand New Day is one of my favorites too. It's like a real bluesy, kind of old school sounding song. That's one of my faves.
Yeah, I love that one.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a memorable experience from a live performance?
Memorable experience.
I love playing Pennypack Park. It's one for me. I'd always go to Pennypack Park to see shows, like as a little kid, and actually get to play on that stage. That
was an awesome cool show. Yeah, we did a show down at, I don't know if you've ever been down there. They do concerts down in Pennypack Park, and they have a huge stage. And another thing,
for the whole pandemic, I used to.
Non-starters. They don't
right now they do it at
the
park anymore. But when we did it, you know, there was like a few thousand people there and playing outside, and the energy of the crowd when you like that many people outdoors. That was pretty cool show.
So you guys would like to play more festival type shows?
Absolutely. We're supposed to be doing a show coming up this year with Dave Weekly, which was one of the bands you saw us with at the last show at the Gem up in Phoenixville. And I'm working on something with Nitro. I was talking to Dan earlier about doing a show over in Jersey at the Landis Theater with those guys and a few other bands. So that's
we were my friend and I went to see an Octane reunion in there, and
I wanted to go to that.
I heard it was awesome.
yeah, it was like I know them all separately, like so it was so fun to see them up there just doing their thing and everybody just like enjoying the band.
Yeah, I saw some videos from that night. They sounded great, and they were
Not just a couple.
yeah, right. But yeah, they're definitely a good band.
So, what would you say was your biggest milestone last year?
Last year, I'm just getting it back out in the scene again because when COVID happened, we were sort of shut down for a while. We had put out our last album in 2018, and then we put it out. We had a CD release party, and then right after that, it was like everything shut down, and we couldn't really, not tour, but we couldn't really play clubs on the new album because everything was just kind of shut down. And then, within the last like 2 years, with 2021 or 2022 and 2023, we kind
My
of
dog's making an appearance.
Player
your
died.
dog's cute.
Yeah.
Mike Bunce, who's a lifelong friend, he was a guitar player for a few years. He's on the CD. He passed away.
Yeah, he passed away, so
Sure.
that kind of shut us down for a little bit until we got Andy, which is the guy you saw us with.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guitar player. I mean, you saw him at the last show. He really fits in perfectly. But yeah, my best friend Mike, who was I played with for a lot of years, passed away in 2019. So that was like a really devastating blow, to the band and just to my life because I've known the guy for a long time. I don't even want to tell you how long I know because then I'll give away my age.
So, how does your songwriting process work? Like, how do you guys kind of like all bring it together?
I mean, I sort of usually just come up. I mean, that's not all me. But, I mean, I sort of just come up with like a riff and like a melody, and then I kind of turn that melody into some lyrics. And then I sort of send that raw recording of me playing guitar and singing to the other guys, and then they kind of put their spin on it. And then we all just kind of get together after they hear that raw recording, and we kind of just the magic just happens. Everybody kind of puts their own little flavor in there, and it just turns into what it turns into. Sometimes it's different than even what I envisioned it to be when I'm first writing it, but it's cool though.
So, can we talk about a little bit more about you and your upcoming performance and any other things that you're looking to do this year?
Sure. Well, as far as the upcoming performance, I mean, that's going to be a great show with Monte Carlo on the 24th. We're really looking forward to that. We love playing with those guys. In fact, we did our last 3 shows with them. So that was kind of nice. I've known Damien for a long time. I've known him when he was in Mach 22. And even, I don't know if you remember when he was in Juliet's Vice back in the day. Do you remember that band?
No, I caught on to the whole like Monte Carlo bandwagon like a little bit later in the game.
Gotcha. Yeah, they were Dan Parcells from that band, and also Damien. They were in a band a long time ago called Juliet's Voice. We were still Boss Hydro at the time. That was probably around 2010. That's right around the time I met Damien. So I've known him through the years. And then I saw that he had put together this new band, and we had some shows booked. And I just asked him if he wanted to pop on on it with us. And he was like, "Yeah, we'd love to do it with you guys." And we did the last 3 shows with them. So
it was just a lot of fun, so we kept doing it.
Yeah, it's been real fun. We really love those guys. They're great dudes.
So, what other projects are you looking to get into? You said the Landis Theater. Is there?
And also, we're going to be doing something at the Gem. I think it's in Phoenixville. I just got news of that a couple days ago from Dave Weekly, like I said, from that band Weekly.
Yeah, quite a few bands that have been on actually have played at the Gem.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm not even familiar with the club. I just heard about it when I saw it.
I believe it was like an old speakeasy.
Oh, neat.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that they like turned over. But from everyone that I've talked to that has played there, they said it was really fun.
I heard speaking of old venues reopening, there's been talks of them reopening the Trocadero down on Arch Street. You remember that place?
Yeah.
That was a really cool. I mean, because it was probably built in like late 1800s, so the architecture in there is just so cool and like gothic looking inside of there. And so I really hope that goes through and they open that venue again. That would be great. We played there many times back in the day, but it's been closed for a while.
So since you guys have been playing together for a really long time, like, do you guys ever like play pranks on each other and like do stuff to each other like when you're on the road?
I mean, Joe is like
We just crack jokes. There's nothing like prank wise.
Yeah, Joe always, well, whenever we send group texts out trying to arrange rehearsals and things like that, like Joe's always got to put a dig in on somebody and making fun of somebody's response to the chat or whatever. Joe's Joe's just got this weird sense of humor, and sometimes you love it, and sometimes you're a little annoying.
So do you guys have any like special like routines or rituals that you do before the show?
I mean,
a couple drinks.
Yeah, I'm usually always, even after this many years, I always get the little butterflies before I go on stage, even though I know it's going to be fine. It's like I just have that little nervous energy going on before I get on stage. But then once I'm up there and I hit that first chord, it just all goes away and it just becomes such fun,
You don't notice it with him. I get the jitters, but you can see. You can notice it when I'm on stage. You're all over the place.
Thanks.
I kind of hide in the back a little bit.
Joe's a little on the shy. Joe's a little on the shy side. He likes to just stay in the back and play his bass. But he holds down the music with his thick bass playing, so it works,
So what's the craziest thing that's ever happened like while you're performing? Crazy. Whether it be like sound, whether it be a fan doing something crazy, like.
Jeez, I can't even think.
Because they get hype when you guys play. And they all move like forward.
Yeah, I mean, we've during the course of the years, we've had a couple fans run up on stage and things like that, but nothing that got too out of hand. That's always fun when somebody does that anyway, So
we bring people up and play with this.
Yeah, we brought some people.
Guitar.
Yeah, we brought some people from the audience.
We did do a show. We opened for Big Brother and the Holding Company. The Janis Joplin's old band members and Jefferson Airplanes. They kind of formed Big Brother and the Holding Company. And it's a John and Peters and New Hope, and their drummer missed his plane. So Eddie Murray.
Yeah,
he didn't know any of the songs, and he had to.
Yeah, that was
do their whole set.
That was pretty weird. That was a good show. Yeah,
and they were like a totally. They're kind of like more like
totally different genre.
Not on that bill, but somehow we landed as the opening act for the Big Brother and the Holding Company.
But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to meet them, and they were
having drinks with them, and they were all. Their wives are all really nice. It was just funny that they kind of like slow it down to him a little bit, because he had no idea what was going to come next with the song.
Yeah, he just sat in and played with them, never hearing their songs before, so that was really weird.
And so, how are some of the ways that you connect with your fans, and what role do they play in your performance?
I mean, I wanted to get up on the front of the stage and just look the audience right in the face. I mean, and I think that kind of pulls people in.
You go in the crowd too.
Yeah, sometimes I go in the crowd too. I didn't have my wireless that night, so I didn't do it that night. You saw me, but I mean, you feed off the energy of the crowd. The crowd really kind of makes the show. I mean, the more the crowd gets in with the harder you play, and the harder you just want to please them and keep them captivated, I guess.
If you could,
the last show too, you were like right up front. I remember like.
Oh yeah.
I saw you getting into it.
I was having so much fun. Like, I didn't know what to expect because I had never even been to a Monte Carlo show. So I was coming out kind of like, just let's see where this goes. And you guys were just so much fun. Like, it was just a blast all night. Everyone I was with had fun.
Awesome.
You had a bunch of new songs that night too.
Yeah, we played a couple new ones that night.
New songs. He's always right. He's like, I got 8 new songs.
It's just a matter of getting them down with the band. That's
So he has so many great ones that just get lost because and he has a new batch to come out. And whatever happened to that one that you had? It's crazy. turns them out.
So can fans look forward to new music
Oh,
coming
absolutely.
soon? Can you tell us anything about new music that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, I have about 30 new songs that I'm, that I'm working on. I mean, not all of them are complete, but they're all complete ideas, like so to speak, but just not all arranged. But I would say probably half of them are arranged. And right now, we've just been kind of taking like 4 or 5 of them at a time and playing them, and then we're bringing them out to our shows and kind of seeing the kind of reaction that we get from the audience, whether it's worth keeping or not. Kind of testing them on the audience first before we actually go on and record them. Um, so we're kind of doing that. So we probably plan on putting a couple other new ones in this next show just to see how they go over.
So since you guys have been doing this a pretty long time, do you have any fun stories from like the recording studio?
We're a boring band, I guess, huh?
Well, geez, the last recording that we made in 2018, that was getting a little crazy. I don't want to trash anybody, but
Yes.
Everybody's got one of those stories.
Toward the end there of that making that recording, I just felt like the producer was losing our mixes and making me remix it again. And I'd go back the following week and I'd be like, let's hear that mix we did last week. He'd be like, I don't have it. I lost it. And now we're paying for another mix again. And that was getting a little crazy and expensive, so which is why we stopped the CD at 9 songs. We were planning on doing 12, but it was just getting so expensive that we just had to cut it short.
Are there any plans for any upcoming like collabs?
Any what?
Upcoming like collaborations?
I don't know. I mean, you never know what's going to come down the pike. I don't have anything actually planned at the moment, but that's not. It's not out of the question. I would love to.
Anybody's interested, reach out.
I know Matt Nardo from
Weekly
had mentioned to me before he wanted to get together and do some songwriting with me. So you never know. Maybe we'll put together something with him, or who knows what's going to be.
Definitely not opposed to.
Yeah, I'm all about working with other people and seeing what I can come up with something different.
You've helped people in the past. Yeah, please always help. Like finish if somebody gets stuck somewhere, I'll go and help with lyrics or melodies.
There's this other artist, a really good friend of mine. His name's Tommy Schwartz. He doesn't really have a band as of yet, but he's a great songwriter. And I go over there and I help him with some lyrics and melodies sometimes. And I'm trying to put together a band for him to get out there. I might even be part of the band, maybe just as him singing, but me playing guitar kind of more in the background. And I might put something together with him in this upcoming year. Him and I have been talking about that, but it's not really.
He's the most talented guy.
He is one of the most talented musicians. Yeah,
when he says he's a bass player, he's the best singer I've ever heard.
Yeah,
one of the best guitar players I've ever heard. He's like, I don't play guitar. Play Eruption better than Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah, he's just a
God. I don't know. I'm like,
he's a monster musician.
Yeah,
he really is.
Plays every instrument. They actually had a Judas Priest cover band, and he was Rob Halford in the cover band. He was just hitting those notes.
Yeah, we did a little project with him before where we did like a little Judas Priest tribute and played the TLA and stuff like that. And it was like a little side project other than Boss Hydra. We just kind of did it because everybody in the band loved Priest. And we just did sort of like a little tribute to them. He was the singer, and man, he really nailed it. He sounds just like Rob Halford. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see him I don't know that he wants to get a band together. I think it's why. I think he just likes writing and recording music by himself. And
yeah, but I'm trying to force him to.
He's too talented.
He's so good. He's got to get himself out there. His stuff's so good. He's such a talent. He's sort of doing himself a disservice by not, putting it out there.
That's another thing that I love about you. Like, you guys are all like so big on promoting each other and just. It's like all about the love, and that's great. Like I see so many bands like just in this huge competition, and it's not like that. Like that night, that vibe was just everybody happy.
Bands I like. There are bands out there that do make it competition. Believe me, it's not all flowers and roses or whatever. It's like there's a lot of bands out there that are very, very competitive. But no, like Damien and Monte Carlo and all those guys, and all the bands we play with. We try to play with like-minded bands, so we all do have a fun night when we play. And yeah, I love to promote my friends. That's what.
And since you guys have been in it before the pandemic hit, I mean, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've faced with that and with keeping a consistent, cohesive vibe with the band?
I mean, it was tough because a lot of places just weren't allowing music, or they were, and a lot of people were afraid to come out. So we did do a show in was it end of 2020, or was it beginning of 2021? Whenever it was, I know it was. Remember the first show, like, and people were afraid to come out and see us because people were still scared about the pandemic at the time. Then, and the bar had like glass up all around the bar, so you had to like hand your money and you got your beer through like this little slot. It was actually at Sweeney's, in fact.
We've all the rehearsal studios are closed. Like there's nowhere really even to practice.
Yeah,
anymore.
the pandemic has really changed so much. Right, there's literally one rehearsal studio now in our area to even rehearse at, whereas there used to be like 5.
It's one room. Everybody's fighting to get in this one room.
Yes,
It's crazy. And that was, I mean,
so if there's any investors out there, like, open up a recording studio or open up a rehearsal studio, and you'll make a killing. Because it's in desperate need right now in the Philly, New Jersey area. They're really looking for a lot of bands need rehearsal studios.
Yeah, people reach out all the time.
There's just not enough of
where do you practice? Where can I get in?
There's like Rotation Records.
Where's that
at? Norristown.
Okay, you kind of froze up a little bit on that. Now you're not moving.
Oh.
I'm just getting a still picture of you over here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you though. Yeah.
Hopefully it'll come back.
You look good in the still.
Rotation is in Norristown.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at that face I'm making, like all the attitude.
Yeah, because our one guitar player, he lives
You
up.
should get a commission.
He lives up near Souderton, so I always feel bad that he drives down to, Philly or Langhorne, to rehearse all the way from up there. It's like a, hour and some, right, from down. So dedicated, and he's a great guitar player.
It's
So.
Andy Watts, and the guitar player, and John Gulak's our drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guys. We've known them forever.
Like I said, John's sick in bed. I mean, he went to the urgent care yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm not gonna be able to do this podcast." I'm like, all right, we'll do it without you. No worries, dude. But yeah,
I know. Like everybody's been getting sick. Like everyone's been kind of taking turns around me, and I'm like, ah.
And like I told you earlier, even I'm sick. Woke up with this head cold yesterday. Hopefully, I'm not going to contaminate Joe tonight. But I didn't want to cancel. And I'm like, we're all sick. It's like, how are we gonna do this podcast?
Yeah, I was actually surprised. Like a bunch of I went to the supermarket the other day, and I saw that people are like bringing the mask back and the whole 9 yards. I'm like, oh great, it's circulating again.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think I'm ready for the winter. Like I'm. We got a little taste of the snow and everything, and oh, there I am. I'm back.
You're back now. You're back.
We got a little taste of the snow the other day, and yeah, I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it to go away
Mm-hmm.
and go back to spring. I'm not a winter person at all. I mean, once Christmas is over, it's kind of like, okay, that was good. Now I'm done. Bring spring back.
Yeah, we're definitely like in that mid stage. I'm like, oh man, like this weather makes me just want to stay in bed.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
But well, I don't want to keep you guys too long, but is there anything else that you would like to kind of tell new fans and our audience about you guys?
Yeah, keep an eye out for the upcoming record or EP that we're going to be putting out soon, because we're just going to try to figure out what of these 30 songs we're going to want to be using for this album. Probably narrow it down to like 10, and then go in and record, and then put something out hopefully this year. I mean, it's early in the year, so I'm hoping we can get it done, maybe by summer or something like that. That would be great. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. And in the meantime, if you want to check out Boss Hydra, you can look up our Tragic Lullabies album, which is on all download platforms on Amazon, Spotify.
I love that name.
Apple Music,
Thank you.
Such a good name.
iTunes. I mean, it's on there, so they can check it out on there. In the
Yeah, I was
interim.
real happy with the CD. I thought it came out good.
And
Yep.
how important do you feel that like the cover art is to your songs? Because you guys have really good cover art for your.
That's all this guy. This guy does all that. He made the album cover. I mean, he makes all those promos. You
I'm a
see,
graphic designer.
that's what he does for a living. Yeah, he's a graphic designer for Merrill Lynch. That's that's what pays his bills, so that we can play music, afford to play music. And then I have my day job as well. So we're not to the point where the music is paying the bills. We just sort of do it because we love it.
Yeah.
And real quick, let's go through and just tell people where they can find you. Like we have it going on the bottom, but your different streaming sites that you're on.
Oh, right. I see you have Spotify on there. I see it going there. You have Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer, iHeartRadio. I mean, there's like 132 of them. If you
You'll find us.
if you have a download platform and you pop in Boss Hydro, it's going to come up somewhere. There's a lot of videos on YouTube as well. In fact,
And the next time that I see you guys on here, can we have a YouTube together?
Absolutely.
Can that be a goal that we can work on?
Yes, that sounds like a good goal we can work on.
You guys are so much fun and I'm definitely trying to come down to see the show.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be great. Let me know. We'll put you on the guest list if you're definitely going to come. Give me a message.
Definitely.
So
yeah, it's always a good time down at Sweeney's.
Yeah, it's a great bar.
And
plenty of parking.
The free parking is a good thing. A lot of those center city clubs, it's tough to park.
I know. I was going to a lot of things out in Harrisburg, and like the parking out there is like insane. Like we heard about this huge fight that broke out. I was like, it was over the parking. It was definitely over the parking. Like Philly doesn't like deal with that to that extreme.
Do they have a good music scene out there in Harrisburg?
Out in Central PA, yeah.
Oh, do they really? I have to check. Maybe we'll have to book a show out there or something.
Like Love Drafts, HMAC.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some really, really nice venues out there.
I remember there was a cool club called the Chameleon Club in Lancaster. You remember that? Is that still there? That was always a really.
I haven't heard of that one. Reverb is out in Reading.
Okay, I know
that. I just went to a really cool venue up towards the Poconos. It's called Signature.
I never heard of that.
That was a big venue, very crowded.
Oh wow! What kind of acts do they have there? Is it original bands or?
I went up to see my friends from Strange Culture.
Okay, cool.
Rock.
Nice.
I mean, that's what most of them were. It was punk and rock.
Okay, nice. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Thomas Taylor.
That's the guy.
That's one of the guys that books for up in that area. But really cool venue. It was nice. Like I didn't realize. My friend is like, oh, it's in Allentown. So I didn't realize like it wasn't in Allentown and it was more towards the Poconos. So I didn't have like the longest time to stay there because I had to leave to pick up my son. But I got to stay till probably like 11:30, and it was really fun. Not the best, like, they didn't have any bar food or anything. That's the only thing that was kind of. I'm very big on bar food. Like, they have to have, like, something good there.
Right?
Like, Craft Hall. Have you guys ever been there?
What's it called?
Craft Hall. That's in Philly.
No, I've never been there.
That's a really cool venue.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, Monte Carlo probably. I believe Bert lives like right down the street from
all of them.
But Yeah, and
Oh, he lived in Philly. I didn't know that. I thought he was a Jersey guy too, like the rest of them. I thought he was. I didn't realize he was from Philly.
I never know, like, because you guys all kind of like go from like New Jersey to Philly, like
Right.
everybody's
It's only
like,
over the bridge. Yeah.
I'm like, where are you guys from? I mean, some people come on and they'll like stay to that area, and I'm like, oh, you're from New York, like really? You come on, like
People
all
go
over
back
the
and
place.
forth. I mean, I know Jersey people that have just recently moved to Philly, and I know Philly people that have just recently moved to Jersey. So it's like a back and forth. They're basically the same scene. Whenever you see it advertised, it's like the Philly, New Jersey, South Jersey music scene. So they kind of go hand in hand, kind of like how New York goes hand in hand with the North Jersey music scene, sort of. So
And we'll have to keep putting it out into the universe and kind of like sharing your stuff, and let's try to get you in the Landis.
appreciate it. And one more thing, I love that picture behind you. I remember when you posted that on Facebook. That is so awesome. I just love the style of that artist. I mean, that's so awesome.
Thank you.
I liked it I saw you when you first got it. You posted it. You said a friend of yours gave it to you or something like that. You were
he had done it. He had done this design like it was like a year ago maybe, and it sold right away, of course. And I had like debated on it. I like walked around a store. I like was so close, but I really didn't have the funds that day. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta eat. So I passed on it, and it sold like basically like 2 minutes after I walked out. And I've been like just kind of devastated ever since. And my other friend actually went to him and was like, dude, she's devastated. Like, is there any way that you could recreate it? And one of his main rules is like, I don't double it.
Do that already.
Doesn't want to do the same. Yeah.
So
voice.
this one, the other one had all black legs, and this one has more like mechanical.
Okay. So he made you your own special one for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, SML pop art. Yeah, he actually did the one that's down there also.
I don't know if I can see that one. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, that's pretty cool too. He's got a really cool style, or she.
He,
okay.
yeah, he does all sorts of just like crazy cool art. I mean, everything from like superheroes to monsters to just things that come into his head that he puts on canvas. Really fun artist, though.
Awesome.
But thank you so much for coming on, and
thank you for having us.
We totally appreciate you inviting us on and giving us the opportunity to come on here.
Oh, definitely. That's what this show's all about. Us finding people that we just love and sharing them with all our friends.
Thanks so much, Allie.
Thank you.
Definitely. And I will see you on February 24th.
Saturday, 24th.
At Sweeney's.
At Sweeney's, yeah.
And everybody, like, share. That's what it's about. Like, go on Spotify, go on these different streaming apps, listen, like, share.
Yeah, let us know what you think of the CD if you listen.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yeah, they like messages. You can go on any of their social media and write the messages. Go for it.
And we'll make sure we put together that YouTube channel for you, so we can.
Definitely. I'll be checking back.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, Allie.
Enjoy your night.
So, take care.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone, for joining in to A Pretty Little Podcast. We will be back next week with my podcaster in crime, Jesse. Night, guys.